Welcome to my life as I live it. I'm Army Princess, the mother, wife, and soldier, and I want to share this journey with you. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe now so you don't miss a moment of it. If you're with me, women, let me hear you say. Hey everybody, it's Army Princess here and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are watching me for the very first time, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Click the bell so you will be notified every time I upload. I am a U.S. Army soldier. I've been in the military for over 10 years and I love to share my experiences with you. I do upload at least 3 times a week, and I have a bunch of playlists on my channel, y'all. I just recently went through, cleaned up all my playlists. Check out the playlist. If you're not into military stuff, you might be into family stuff. If you're not into family, you might be into beauty. We trying to have a new baby this year. Check out the playlist, y'all. But I want to get into my emails, so I'm going to link the video above and I'll put it in the description box below. The last video that I did that I was reading emails, I got like an overwhelming response of emails within that next week of me posting that video. And it's just so awesome because I love reading you guys' emails, answering any questions that people might have. So I decided to do this series where I read all of the emails out loud because you might have the same question another person might have. So the answers could help everybody. So I'm going to read the emails that I got this past week and we're going to go ahead and get started. One of the more recent emails that I got, it says, "Hi Army Princess, I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel. I'm 34 and I have been considering joining the military. I've told a few people and have gotten mixed feelings about it. I don't have any children. I'm not married. I've been working a job that I am unhappy for almost 10 years. I want to feel like I have purpose and I feel like I need a challenge. I was talking to a friend today and they were saying that they wouldn't join while Trump is in office. I just want some advice I want advice from someone that's already in. I'm afraid to make the wrong move and regret it, but I want to better my life. I don't know what to do. Please give me your advice." So since Trump has been in office, I've been hearing a lot about people who are more so not in the military than people who are in. For everybody that is in the military, we all know that whoever the president is at that time is our commander-in-chief. We can't speak bad on our commander-in-chief. We can't talk about them in a negative light. And, you know, they are our boss, they're our supervisor. We're supposed to do everything and anything that they tell us to do, which I'm fully down with it. You know what I mean? Like I say in all my videos, it's a selfless service. You signed up because you wanted to. And I get this question, well, it's the draft thing. I'm talking about people who walk in from off of the street and feel like they want to join the military. It's a selfless service. You decided to join. Nobody put a gun to your head and made you come in and join the military. With that being said, if you do join, you have to follow the rules and regulations that are already set in place. With that being said, speaking about Trump as my president, I'm not going to say anything negative about him. For one, because I am in the military, he is my boss. And for two, Trump has not done anything personally to me since I've been in, but give me a raise. So I'm not mad at that. And so a lot of people who are not in the military would know that. But you just have to, there are going to be bosses that you don't like. He's not going to be the commander-in-chief for the rest of my life or for the rest of the time that I'm in the military. So, you know, you deal with things, you move forward, you get over it, you move on. Whatever he tells me I have to do, I have to do it. I'm going to do it because he's my boss. He's my commander-in-chief. But at the end of the day, he may have maybe one more term and then somebody else will be in office. And you may or may not like that person. So it's like, well, I didn't wait. I waited because I didn't like this person. And then I wait. And then the next person I don't like. So you are only affecting and hurting you in the long run. So that is my advice on that. If you don't support him, if you don't like him, if you don't like what he stands for, if you don't like him, then don't join. If you feel like it's going to be a conflict of interest. Somebody wrote, "Yes, I'm thinking about joining the military and your videos are very informative." So thank you for emailing me that. That was very sweet. Okay, I got another one. "Hi, Army Princess. I'm thinking about joining the Army, but I'm feeling a bit skeptical because people are telling me not to trust the recruiters as they just telling me what I want to hear. Do you have any advice as a female in the Army that I need, or anything I should look into deeper? Thanks. If you could please get back to me, that would be great. I always hear about how recruiters tell lies, and I could attest to say that I would say that they have to meet a quota. They do. A lot of times it's hard to meet, but not all the time it's hard to meet. So they may tell you what you want to hear so that you can join and they can meet their quota. It's not always the case. You may have, just in life, you have one person that's going to help you out more than the next. One person that's looking out for your best interest, and one person that's looking out for their best interest. What I tell everybody, people who say, I'm thinking about joining, I want to join, any questions, what should I do? Do your research. That's what I can tell you. Do your research. Do not walk into the recruiting office not knowing what you want to do, what the military is about, how you should join. You do your own research. And then if the recruiter tells you something that's far left or far right, you like, I don't know about that. And you can go to other recruiter stations. You can go to other recruiter stations and get other information. You can check YouTube like you're doing now. You can do a lot of things. There are some things that only come from your recruiter at that time, like jobs. Sometimes jobs aren't always available. So you kind of just have to trust them as far as if this job is open right now or if it's not open. But most of the time they will tell you you have to wait or you don't have to wait. But the only thing that I can say is do your research. If you feel like a recruiter is jerking you around, then you can go to another recruiter. But as far as females in the military, things that you should know, the one thing that I wish my recruiter told me that I didn't know, and no offense to him, he's a guy, so it probably didn't matter to him, is that you have to wear your hair in a certain way every single day. You have to have your makeup a certain way every single day. You have regulations on your nails and stuff like that, jewelry. So I may have thought twice if I would have known those things. Not saying that the recruiter just didn't tell me because he needed to make a quota and he wanted me to join. Like I said, he's a guy. Like I said, he's a male, so it probably just never resonated with him. Had I gotten a female recruiter, maybe she would have told me these things. If I would have did my research, maybe I could have asked these things. So you can't put everything and anything on a recruiter. You have to do your own research and go in there knowing something about what you want to do, specifically your job, and then go from there. The recruiters will try to give you whatever is open and available at that time because they don't want you to say, well, I'll come back in a month or 6 months when the job is open. In a month or 6 months, you may not be here. You may be pregnant. You may be doing other things. You may change your mind. So they're going to try to get you to come right now because they want to make sure they get those numbers right now. I always tell people, do your research on jobs. That's the biggest thing. You sign a contract when you join the military and you sign saying you're going to do this job for X amount of years. You don't want to get stuck in a job that you don't like and that you knew nothing about, and now you have to do it for 5 years and you hate your life for 5 years, and then you have a terrible military experience and you get out and you talk bad about it because you didn't do your research in the beginning. So that's the big thing. You can take it with a grain of salt what the recruiters say as far as some things, but there are some things that you need to do your research on and you need to go in there knowing for sure. If they say dental is not open, but you can be an MP and you don't know anything about an MP or what they do, then don't be an MP. Go home and research it first and figure out if that's something you want to do. And then you come back and say, well, I don't want to be an MP. MP is military police officer, by the way. But I want to be a lab tech, or I want to be a computer tech, or I want to be military intelligence. Find a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C, because your plan A may not always be available, or you may not have scored high enough for your plan B. So now you have a plan C. That's the information I can tell you about a recruiter. My next email says, hey girl, I just want to know if you have any ASVAB tips and basic training tips. And also, once you're in the Army, can a single soldier adopt or have a kid, or would they have to be married? Thank you. So like I said, I have a lot of playlists, and I do have playlists on what you should do before you go speak to a recruiter. I have some ASVAB tips. I have PT tips. So if anybody's looking for information on those, check out my military 101 playlist. It's like full down there. As far as this specific question, ASVAB tips, ASVAB is very, 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 very important in the military. The ASVAB test is a test you take when you go to the recruiting station and when you go to the MEPS. And that score decides what job you can get. So if you want something that the score is up here, but you score down here, you're not going to get this job. And you're going to get this job and you're going to hate life and you're going to have a bad military experience and you're going to tell everybody how bad it is and you're going to get out disgruntled. So, please take the ASVAB serious. I always tell people that. They have ASVAB for Dummies. I suggest going to get that book at your local Barnes & Nobles. That's where I got mine from. Go to your local library. Start studying for ASVAB. Look for ASVAB books. The main important sections on the ASVAB test is vocabulary, paragraph comprehension, math as far as basic math, and then there's word problems math. Those 4 sections on the ASVAB test make up your GT score. Anything you want to do in the military, you have to have a certain GT score. For most jobs, for the best jobs, for better jobs, you have to have a 110 GT score. So people tell me, well, I got this and this on the ASVAB. What's your GT score? When you go to MEPS and you take that test, ask them what your GT score is. GT score is what's important. Like I said, study, 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 take it serious, eat a breakfast, get good sleep beforehand, take it very serious. Those are my tips. Take it very serious. I wish somebody would have told me that when I went in and took my ASVAB test. That's the best tips that I can tell you. Study, prepare, take it serious, get a good night's rest, get some sleep, and eat. As far as adopting a kid or having a kid, you cannot join the military as a single soldier. Once you're in, yes, you can adopt a kid. I know people who adopted a child while they were in the military, and you can have a kid. I have a baby of my own. I had her while I was on active duty status. You do get 12 weeks of maternity leave, and you can raise your child and live your life. So yes. Dual military question. Let me see. Thanks for replying to my message. It really made my day. Do you have any tips on gaining healthy weight? I spoke to a doctor about it and she could prescribe me something to help, but I have to stop breastfeeding if I take the medication. Are there any regulations against taking supplements? And also, how do you stay positive in the mindset of having fear and doubt about yourself? That's a loaded question. So, gaining healthy weight, I would say to eat a high carb diet. I really don't have tips on gaining healthy weight because I've never been underweight to where I had to gain weight. I did have a soldier myself actually who was considered underweight for the military. And I think she had to take like Ensure and drink. I told her to drink milkshakes and eat french fries. Like, that's the only information I can give you on gaining healthy weight. Like you said, I know there are supplements. There are no regulations on those supplements. So if you want to take a supplement, go ahead and take a supplement to help you bring up your appetite so that you can gain a healthy weight. But you will be flagged if you're underweight, and it could stop you from joining the military if you want to join the military if you're underweight or overweight. So make sure you keep that in mind. How do you stay positive and have a mindset of having fear and doubt about yourself? I try to stay positive all the time. I look at the positives in everything. I have a support system. I have people that I feel like I can talk to if I have questions, if I have issues. I have a mentor. So those things are really key to me, and they really help me and help me in my career and help me in my journey through the military. I always tell people, you can learn from anybody, good or bad. You may have bad leaders, you may have bad friends, you may have bad mentors, you may have bad, supervisors, but there is always something positive you can learn from everybody. I had a leader at one of my first duty stations, and he was not a good leader at all. Not a good leader at all. I don't suggest he have any soldiers. But the thing that I learned from him was that you need to get to know your soldiers. You can't assume. You can't take stuff for granted. You can't just, have the mindset that everybody is in that I don't care attitude. People have things going on in their life. And the only way to be a better person, to be a better friend, to be a best mentor is to get to know that person and learn that person. Learn what they're going through. Know when they're going through something that is kind of hard on them, and it may be affecting their mood. It may be affecting their behavior, instead of always cracking a whip on them. Everybody, and I had to learn this for myself, everybody doesn't learn the same way. So you can't crack the whip on everybody and expect everybody to learn and to thrive that way. Some people need a little rubbing and pushing. Some people need you to crack the whip. Some people need you to just tell them one time what they need to do and they can just go do it. So you have to learn who you're dealing with, who you're talking to. That's the only way to be a good leader, is to really sit down, take the time to get to know people, learn people, and then assess how you need to deal with each person individually. So for the question of how I keep a positive attitude, I take the good from every situation and I use it as fuel and as motivation to be a better me. I'm trying to work on me and focus on me, not anybody else. So as long as I'm focusing on me and trying to make myself better, I'm going to always remain positive and I'm going to always thrive and flourish. So that is my advice to you. I hope you guys like this. I really appreciate the emails. I appreciate the love. I appreciate everybody who clicks on my channel and leaves me a comment, views my videos, gives me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate the love from everybody. And I look forward to your emails. If you have any questions for me, make sure you email me in the description box below. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.